Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a really fascinating text by Feng called Secrets of Diet. And fair warning here, this is going to completely flip traditional nutrition on its head. If you're someone who stresses over exactly what you put on your plate, or you find yourself counting every single calorie, the concepts we're about to explore offer a radically different, honestly, a more philosophical take on how you eat. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the text starts us off by laying down the conventional wisdom, just to set a baseline. We all know the basic physical rules for dietary health, right? Slow pace, soft food, warm temperatures. And naturally, the dietary taboos are the exact opposite. Fast pace, hard food, freezing cold, or scalding hot temperatures. It's the standard health advice we all try our absolute best to follow. But right here is where Feng throws a massive curveball. What if the true secret to digestion doesn't actually sit on your plate at all, but entirely in your mind? The text boldly argues that eating slow, soft, or warm isn't the real secret. The true magic, the actual determinant of how food affects your body, happens based on your internal emotional state the second you take that very first bite. To back this up, the text pulls from some wildly unconventional areas. It points to water crystallization experiments arguing that a molecule's physical structure literally changes based on human mindset. It even brings in quantum mechanics, noting how fundamental particle behavior is inextricably linked to observer consciousness. So, the theory goes, since food is ultimately made of molecules, it closely and physically reacts to the mental state of the person observing and eating it. It's wild, right? And that brings us to the core of this whole thing, Lifechanyuan's dietary theory. Basically, it's the philosophy that keeping a constant sense of gratitude actually transforms the internal molecular structure of your food into something beautiful and highly beneficial. According to the text, when you're truly grateful, the food particles joyfully and rapidly enter your digestive system. Because your positive mindset alters the food at a molecular level, your body minimizes waste and absolutely maximizes the energy and nutrition it absorbs. Let's make this a bit more tangible. Think about the Christian tradition of praying before a meal. The text argues this isn't just some polite cultural habit. It's literally a functional way of, quote, reprocessing the food. By pausing to express deep gratitude, you're actively optimizing the food's nutritional components right before you consume it. There is also this brilliant example in the text about alcohol that you've probably seen happen firsthand. When you're drinking with close friends, people who share your vibe and just make you happy, it's often incredibly hard to get drunk, even after a lot of drinks. But contrast that with drinking with opponents or people you just naturally clash with. Suddenly, you're tipsy after just a few sips. The text uses this to show that intoxication isn't just about the alcohol. The atmosphere and your mental state directly alter how the substance affects you. So, bring this back to everyday psychology at the dinner table. The text points out a pretty universal truth. If you eat while angry, it directly leads to indigestion and stomach issues. Your body simply rejects it. But eating while joyful, that leads to easy digestion and peak nutritional absorption. And get this, the text says this holds true even if you happen to overeat. The joyful mindset physically aids the digestion process. Now, theory is one thing, but to really hammer this home, Feng uses himself as an extreme case study. He boasts about having a rock-solid stomach, despite having what can only be described as a historically chaotic diet. I mean, he eats in a way that totally defies all conventional logic. He admits to breaking absolutely every rule we talked about at the beginning. He eats raw, cold, and hard foods without a second thought. He eats leftover dishes and, well, actually the text says he'll even eat moldy or spoiled food. Plus, he eats completely irregular amounts depending entirely on his mood. His diet is so erratic, his wife claims the greatest creator must have given him a magically biased, healthy stomach. But Feng insists she's wrong. He says he rarely gets sick purely because of his mindset. Want more proof? Just look at his eating speed back in his school days. Minute 0, he grabs his food from the dining hall. By minute 2, instead of sitting down to chew slowly, he's already speed walking and eating. And by minute 10, he's completely finished everything before even reaching his dorm. He rushed through entire meals in under 10 minutes, totally ignoring the slow eating rule, and just letting his digestive tract handle the rest. 0. That is the number of illnesses he remembers having during 4 entire years of high school. And remember, he wasn't eating superfoods. He was surviving on a severely restricted diet, just a cornmeal bun for lunch and plain noodle soup with no meat for dinner. Yet, despite the crazy speed, the cold food, and the sheer lack of traditional nutrition, he stayed exceptionally healthy. So, why didn't this chaotic diet ruin his health? Well, the text argues it comes down to a profound appreciation born from surviving starvation in his past. Because he almost starved to death, he developed this intense natural gratitude for absolutely any food he gets. He notes that even a simple apple or a watermelon brings him overwhelming joy and thankfulness. It's that genuine gratitude that he believes transformed the rough food's impact, keeping him safe and nourished. Okay, so how can we actually apply this? The text gives us this beautifully quirky, highly actionable procedure for bringing joy to your meal. It's literally a conversation with your food. Step 1. Tell the food, you are beautiful, you are fragrant, you look great, thank you. Step 2. Imagine the food responding back. The host is wonderful, the host is good, the host is elegant, thank you, host. I know, it might sound a little out there, maybe even funny, but the author asks, why not do it if it mentally primes you and perfectly prepares the food for digestion? I want to leave you with this final thought straight from the source. People, be grateful when drinking water or eating food. This is not only beneficial for your physical health, but also for your mental well-being. It's such a profound summary of this whole paradigm shift. We spend so much time obsessing over the exact temperature or texture of what we eat, but after looking at all this, you really have to wonder, how might shifting your own mindset, just finding a little more conscious gratitude, completely change the way you experience your very next meal?